of the foundation of our congregation.
As Sisters of St. Peter Claver. It all started the 29th of April, 1894.
The eldest of 7 children, Mary Theresa Ledóchowska, was born in Austria on April the 29th, 1863, to Count Anthony and his wife Josephine. From her parents, Mary Theresa inherited not only their noble blood, but also a heart sensitive for the needy.
And Mary Theresa was a very sensitive young woman, sensitive to the needs of the world around her, largely through the influence of her father. She had herself experienced illness, experienced unrequited love, and been through trials. Her family had lost their fortune in the bank crash in Vienna, and as a result, in the end, they moved to a small property in Lubnica, Moravana.
Even though she grew up in a very religious family, Mary Theresa did not hear much about the missions in her youth. In 1885, Mary Theresa became a lady-in-waiting to the Grand Duchess Alice of Tuscany.
She was working like a lady-in-waiting in the palace in Austria. So suddenly, she wanted to help mission. She left everything in that high position.
In the midst of the glamour of court life, she was exposed for the first time to the needs of the missionary world. 2 Franciscan missionaries of Mary came to Salzburg to seek financial help for their missionary work. The lady-in-waiting listened with interest as the 2 women religious shared their experiences of working with the lepers in Madagascar.
Mary Theresa was very frail physically. She knew she could never go as a missionary to Africa. She wouldn't resist, but she had the talent to write.
Well, eventually she read a pamphlet from a cardinal called Cardinal Ledóchowska. Now, Cardinal Ledóchowska was the founder of the White Fathers and the White Sisters, and he was at that time the primate of Africa.
His call bore fruit in Mary Theresa, who would one day say, "I myself would not be here before you today, and I would probably still be a lady-in-waiting at court in Austria if by chance I had not seen a pamphlet by Cardinal Ledóchowska which gave me the incentive to devote myself to his mission."
Cardinal Ledóchowska was in London and he gave a conference, and our founders read the transcript of that conference, and at one point in it he says, "Christian women of Europe, if God has given you a writer's talent, put it at the service of this cause. You will find none holier."
As Mary Theresa's involvement with the missions grew, she began a mission page in a Catholic periodical. These mission features, called Echo from Africa, were based on correspondence from African missionaries. The page of letters evolved into a monthly magazine, which made its debut in 1889.
So she started writing about the missions, publishing her articles in various Catholic magazines. And then something happened which she hadn't expected. She gave the address of Cardinal Ledóchowska of various missionaries in all her articles. But people in Austria 125 years ago didn't know how to send the money to Africa. At that time, the banking system was not existing there. What did they do? They sent the donations to the editor, to the person writing those articles. And she found herself now in a 2-way correspondence, thanking benefactors and donors for the donations, sending the gifts to the missions, asking the missionaries for greater details about what was happening in their various missions.
The magazine soon became a full-time job, and Emperor Franz Joseph personally released Mary Theresa from her court duties in 1891 so that she could devote all her time and energy to the missions.
But as she began to become involved in that work, she began to have more contact with missionaries working in different parts of the world, and she began to realise just how necessary the spreading of the gospel was, because she began to understand that you can make all the laws you want, you can abolish slavery, you can put an end to it legally, but if you don't change minds and hearts, by the truth of the gospel, nothing will ever change. And if we can see that so clearly today, you know, slavery is more prevalent now than it ever was. And if its minds and hearts aren't changed by the gospel, it just is about our charisms. We're not parish sisters, we're not teachers, we're not nurses. So people are a bit like, what are they doing, you know? Like, but we have to have that global focus, that wider focus, you know. And it's hard because we're so tempted to be doing all those other things as well because we see the need. But then nobody will be keeping that eye on the missions.
Soon the work of promoting and supporting the needs of missionaries in Africa could no longer be considered a one-woman effort. On the 29th of April 1894, Pope Leo XIII formally blessed Mary Theresa's enterprise, deeming the St. Peter Claver Sodality a pious association, which gradually developed into a religious community. Mary Theresa, led by the Holy Spirit, enlisted auxiliary missionaries and placed her work under the patronage of the Spanish Jesuit missionary St. Peter Claver, whose life ministry earned him the title of Apostle to the Slaves. Mary Theresa's vision took shape gradually, emerging in wonderful form. For the next 25 years, the foundress roamed Europe, enlisting people of all walks of life to help her congregation support evangelization in Africa. Realizing that the missionaries were in urgent need of books in local languages, she expanded her work, producing everything from Bibles and hymnals to dictionaries in local languages. Pius X gave his final approval to the constitutions in 1910. The Lady-in-Waiting's dream blossomed into an international mission aid network. Her reward came when the recipients of her generous support offered gratitude for the assistance, calling Mary Theresa Mother of the Africans. The grueling schedule of appearances and editing took its toll on Mary Theresa. Despite suffering from tuberculosis, she worked to the very end, passing away on July 6, 1922. The thousands of missionaries she had supported through prayers, encouragement and material help felt as though they had lost a mother. Mary Theresa Ledóchowska was beatified by Pope Paul VI on October 19, 1975, Mission Sunday.
That in 1975, our founders Mary Theresa was beatified in Rome, and I had an opportunity to be there. I was a junior sister there, and for me that was really a big sign that now she is in heaven for sure, and whatever work she did, it is worth following also, because our work is sometimes it is hidden, like dispatching work for ECHO and things like that. But when we think of that make fruit to help the missionaries. So to do that we need a really spirit, special spirit. So mainly I look our mother founders because she started this work, and we want to continue.
The Holy Father cited her selfless, creative response to Jesus' command to go and teach all nations. In advance of Vatican II, Mary Theresa proclaimed that every Christian is a missionary by means of baptism. She left her spiritual daughters with the responsibility of informing all Catholics of their duty to bring the good news of God's love to the whole world.